Hi guys, this is John Paris from I Still Can't Get a Review and I Can't Get His Name 6. This time I'm going to be updating you on my cosplay video that I made a while back. So this is pretty much how my helmet is coming out. Unfortunately I still have 4 more to go, so I'm kind of far behind. It's a little lopsided and I'll explain why. Celluclay, by the way, here is the Celluclay. I think this is a 5-pound bag. They might have it in your arts and crafts store. I got it from Michael's, where I live. That's an arts and crafts store. I'm not sure if you guys have Michael's where you guys live, but I highly recommend looking for it. Unfortunately, it's really hard to work with. For one simple reason. The clay itself gets too heavy for the foil to hold. So, the first 2 tries failed miserably, and I'll tell you why. The first try, I cast my head just in foil. That's what I'm using, casting my head in foil. Took off the foil, still cast it. I put it in one of these wooden, just wooden planks, and I just had it on there and kind of held it. Laid it against, this little table, so, it wouldn't squash or anything. And 2 problems arose. One, well, the main problem was the clay was too heavy for the foil to hold. So when I put it on there, it started losing its shape. It was round, but suddenly it just started dragging down. Okay, it was firm, and then, just started it got this horrible shape. And I said, oh, well, once it dries up, maybe, I can reshape it, sand it down, add more clay to make it more round. And, well, the clay was still too heavy, so it tore part of the foil. The clay just splattered all over the floor, and it was just a disaster. It was horrible. So I said, screw it, I'll just cast my own head, keep it on for a couple of hours, wait for it to dry up a little bit, or at least blow dry it. So okay, I casted my head, and then I started putting luckily the clay it stays wet for a long time, so even if it falls on the floor, you could just scoop it up, put it in a bowl, and then use it again. So I casted my head, put clay on it, and it was extremely heavy. My neck couldn't stand it. So I tried blow drying it just to really dry it, and it looked like it was dry. Then I put it on it was just a horrible mess. So what I ended up doing in the end was I got an old bicycle helmet. I took the foam part out since it was the smallest part, and I just put foil over it and just put clay on top of that. And luckily it stayed, and it actually works well for the back piece. And I've been using this, to hold the clay so that way it won't splatter all over the place. So that's how I got this shape. It's a little too big, but then again, like I said, I can sand it down. The biggest problem, I think, is going to be making the front part. I think I've got the back down, but the front part is going to be horrible to do. Because there's only going to be a neck hole. And I'm also going to have trouble with that, putting my head in and out of that. So, it's just a horrible mess to do. But hopefully, I can pull it off. Oh, please, God, please. So what else am I using? I'm using hold on. I'm using modeling clay. Baking clay. Pretty much it's clay, then you could bake it, and it's hard. I already have some parts for the glove already made out, the little knuckle parts. But they're outside. I just I just spray painted them, so I can't really show them to you guys. What else am I using? I'm using hot glue sticks. I bought the hot glue gun, but it works like crap, so pretty much I just have a pan, and I'm putting the glue inside, melting it, and then using it, which actually works. Next, I'm using this hard kind of styrofoam. I don't know what to call it. It's just this foam board, and it's really cool to cut out, and it hopefully it'll stay. Also, I'm using these sheets for armor. They're pretty much just thin foam sheets. Unfortunately, they only had one size. Pretty much, you could see a line going through. That was the size. So I had to take two pieces and hot glue them together, and that'll be the front of the armor. So I'm gonna have to cut it out, shape it. Oh God, this project is actually really tougher than what I expected. I'm also using fabric. I'm cutting out fabric and sewing it together. I'm sewing these suits together. So hopefully they'll, won't tear or anything, because we're gonna have to do extreme stunts in the suits. Again, I'm also using this kind of wood. I just got a bunch of wood planks that nobody needed, and I'm using those to make swords, props. Other than that, I was gonna use these to make belts, but I was figuring maybe I'll make, use this cardboard instead for the parts, for the drivers. Last thing I'm using is primer. Like I said in my last video, this is pretty much how it's gonna turn out. You're supposed to put it on whatever you want, and then you paint over it. But actually, I'm using this just for Exilion, to pretty much give him the color. But pretty much the gist is that you paint, the thing with the primer, then you paint over it so that way the color will stay on. Which is pretty much what I've done with everything. Also for gauntlets, I used Coke leaders, cut out the bottom part, cut in finger holes, and cut another hole in the side put in fins, which I made from the same cardboard. Let me try to put this confounded thing on. Wrong hand. Okay. Please bear with me. Yeah, there you go. So you can see there. I've still got to fix the little blade, so it could stick out, right, instead of like kind of lopsided. Again, I use primer. I might paint on it or might not. I mean, I like the gray color. But pretty much what I gotta create, one of the many things, is that. It's hell. Luckily I have this. I worked on this with my teacher. It's half of a helmet, so hopefully I'll use that probably for that mode, and use this for my other helmet. It might be confusing, but I'm going to leave a link in the description box so you guys can check it out and get a hint. Wink, wink. So hopefully this video has been helpful for you if you need any help finding this stuff. Like I said, most of my stuff, the clay, the glue, the solid clay, the foam boards, the regular foam, I all got from arts and crafts store. Now, the wood cutting supplies I got from my grandpa. The wood I got from several places. My teacher had some lying around that she didn't need, and also got the fabric from my teacher. What else am I using? So yeah, if you guys need help, I'd be totally glad to help you guys. I remembered I was using something else. Aha! There we go. Last thing I use, I promise I won't bother you guys, is this thin blade. Now, if you're under 12, hell no. I've already sliced myself. I'm serious. It hurts. It's a tiny little blade. It's also an arts and crafts store. It's very thin, so you can bend it, so you can cut like that. But it's sharp as hell. And that's what I've been using to cut this cardboard. It looks like you have to put force on it. No, it cuts like butter. So yeah, if you guys need help looking for other stuff, totally leave it in the comments below, and I'd be glad to give you guys tips. I'd be glad to give you guys tips. Unfortunately, I'm also a beginner, so you're gonna have to be getting advice from a beginner. And the way YouTube is that I've seen, there's not a lot of tutorials that really help you. Next time, once this clay hardens and I add the front part, that's when I'll, film myself, doing it so you guys can get an idea how it is. So yeah, one last thing, if you are going to work with cellular clay, pretty much all you're going to have to do is add water to it. Not the whole thing, get a handful in a bowl, whatever, add water. So there you go. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more toy reviews. As you can see, all the crap that I have lying around here. And hopefully more model reviews that I'm making. I'm still got to work on this thing, but luckily soon I'll get spray paint. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you